And we are back. Welcome to another edition of Cut Up Culture. I am your host, D Starks, aka just D79. We're back for the fourth time trying to do this live, which I keep getting kicked out of the app. The pitfalls of dating a mooch. I do not know what is so triggering about this topic, but we're going to talk about it. Anaya Divine, hey, how you doing, sweetie? We're going to talk about it. It's going to happen. I don't care if it's a trigger for some of you people. Some of y'all aren't so nice. If you're mooching off of people and you're not really in love with them, let them go. Just because you simply want to have a couch to lay on, nobody is required to do that for you. So, and again, we're going to try this again for the fourth time. I'm going to try to bring my guests back into the room because we're jumping all over just to do this podcast. Give me 1 second. All righty. Let's share this live one more again. Ready? And if I notice that it's certain people that keep coming in the room and I keep kicking off, I'm pretty sure I know who it is. And it's okay. We're going to work through that one. Let's see if I can get Heavy in here. I know he's at work until 11. He might come on at the very end. If he doesn't, that is okay. I told y'all I could talk by myself for a good 20 minutes. I just need 20 minutes for my podcast. We usually typically go over about 2 hours. If that happens, it is what it is. I just edit it down to 20 minutes because people have very short attention spans. All right, let me get my usual suspects in here. Alrighty, and let me see if we can get A and B Shark on if he is not traveling right now. Boom. Hello. Hey, Mario. Okay, Mr. Fantastic. Now there you guys are. Hello. And okay, so this is another episode of Cut Up Culture. I am your host, D Starks, aka just D79. Our topic for today, it seems like it's very touchy about this term, which is a term. You can look it up in the Urban Dictionary. Dating a hobo, H-O-B-O, sexual. How to avoid it, how to see the red flags as they're coming in, how to avoid the pitfalls. And I'm still looking for a realtor or somebody who has had experience with this, with the whole eviction process, to get that mooch off your couch and out of your house. And so the thing is, these mooches, they can be men or women. Typically, most women will say, they'll say it's a man. Hello. If you want to come in to join in on the conversation, hit the request. I don't want you guys to feel too weird with me constantly inviting you guys in. If you want to come in, that's fine. If you just want to listen, that is fine as well. You can listen and then you can use this topic for a later date, but you don't have to keep reporting me because we're just going to talk about it. This has nothing to do with sexuality. Let me say that again. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It was a phrase coined in 2017. H-O-B-O, sexual. That's it. Sorry for your loss, Uncle A.W. My condolences to you and your family. I just had to let that be said really quick. Oh, don't do this. Service internal error. Come on, why are you playing with me today? Who is that and what is that? And thank you, Mario. Thank you for the paper cranes. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. The Real by Miss G. I am trying to get you in on this live. There we go. Hallelujah. It's finally working.
And we're here.
Hallelujah.
We've made it.
The fourth try, because I've gotten kicked out. I came on early to clean house, to make sure that this would flow, and I keep getting kicked out. So apparently somebody does not like this term. So instead of us using that term, we're going to say the mooch. Hey, Miss Diva
Okay.
Shay, if you'd like to come in, if your live is working, if you don't have music in the background, I will be taping. A portion of this will be going for audio only to my podcast, so I cannot have a lot of background noise. What is the mooch? The HOBO sexual.
Okay.
This is the topic that we're talking about, but this app does not like it when I say it.
You already hear my mooch. Give me a moment out. I'm going to leave and then I'm going to come back in.
Okay. Little Brown Charm School, if you want to come in, I've seen you in multiple times. I know that you are a real person. Feel free if you want to come on. If you don't want to, that is absolutely fine. I don't pressure people to come in. What am I doing here? Can I stay? You can stay. This is not a relations. This is not a demon hour topic. I will move from, sometimes we'll be talking about traumatic childhood experiences, funny childhood experiences. Sometimes we'll be talking about relations. Other times we're talking about relationships. Tonight's topic has less to do with relations and more to do with just dating and dating pitfalls. I am not a relationship coach. I am not a life coach. None of that. This is just me doing my journey. This is what my podcast is about. It's just figuring it all out. That's what this podcast is about. Sometimes it gets a little nasty. You do have to have a bio so that I know you're an adult, but you got so many followers. I really don't think that you could be a fake person. So I'm going to let you in. Tyrone, aka Iceman. We will see your input in on this. I hope you are a grown man because with that many followers, I would be very disappointed.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so because we like to see your face, because the ladies like to have something to look at.
How you do it? I don't know how to put it on there.
Oh, I'm gonna walk you through it really quick, sweetie. So you'll look in the bottom left hand corner, and it'll say multi guest. It's like a pink and a blue person. You'll
Yes.
hit that. You'll either hit enhance or you'll hit the camera that has a line through it.
Perfect. I'm human. I just need a haircut, which is tomorrow.
This
I'm
sir.
good. I'm good.
This sir.
But you
Okay.
see my TikToks, it's all me, all real, nothing fake.
Tyrone,
Yeah.
aka Iceman. So I'm just D. Hi, hey, and how you doing? Um, I'm gonna get the housekeeping out of the way. I edit this a lot. I do take this and I put it on YouTube and I will put it on Anchor. Anchor will push this out to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Do I have your permission to use your voice and your image?
Yes.
I just needed that verbal yes. Okay. We have more guests coming. They're doing some housekeeping of their own. Again, if you would like to be on, you ain't got nothing in your bio, sir.
I'm still new. I mean, all the videos, I'm okay, but the bio,
Okay,
I still
so
have to
when you're
put it up.
when you want to start doing merch and stuff like that, you're gonna want to put some stuff in your bio.
Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and then
Gotcha.
that you're gonna want to put some stuff in your bio.
Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and then
Gotcha.
create an email account just for business stuff, and then just have it on there. This is
Okay.
stuff I've been learning along the way. This part's getting edited.
Gotcha.
Anyway, how old are you, sir?
I'm 47.
Okay, oh, black don't crack.
That's what they say.
Thought you was in your 30s, sir.
I get that a lot, and I speak
Okay,
with I
I
speak with
love
ID.
I love that you're 47 because you have some life experience. Have you ever dated a woman? Well, first of all, do you mind saying what your sexual orientation is? This is a new world we live in, sir. Do you
What you
date
mean, sir?
women? Do you date men?
Yes. Yes.
Dick?
No.
Okay, I gotta ask.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to use the terminology anymore. It's the hobo.
No. That's just how you speak. Go ahead and just be you. I
Okay,
mean,
so you know
okay.
the new there's a new term going around called the hobo, HOBO sexual.
Yeah.
It's somebody who gets in a relationship just to have a place to live. They AKA the mooch.
Yeah.
Have you ever dated a woman? Now it's a man or a woman. It's not just men, it's women too. They
Right.
mooches
Right.
out here too. I
Right.
love my women, I love my men. Look, we gonna call it what it is. Have you ever dated a woman who one tried to fall in love with you too fast, two tried to move in really quick, and you found out she was a mooch?
No.
Never. So you
No.
just nope, I'm not gonna let that happen. Are you single? Are you married?
Married.
I was about to say, how did you avoid all of that? And that's how you avoided all of that. So, but this is what our topic is. I will tell you my experience. I like to wait for other people to talk, but they take a while to get in here. I only need 20 minutes. If nobody else come in here but me and you, that's what it is. That's what I'm
Yeah.
rolling with. I'm divorced, right? I was married for a very long time, divorced. This dating now is new. There's all kind of rules to dating. I hate it. It's ghetto out here. If you
Yeah.
married, stay married, unless you're getting hurt. Please just stay married. You happy. So I'm
Well,
dating a
I ain't
guy.
gonna say that, but
Multiple jobs, right? Guy got multiple jobs.
yeah,
Good looking man. Black man. Strong man. Thick. I know he eating. I know I'm gonna eat too, cause he eating. Somebody feeding him.
yeah.
We dating, all of a sudden it's holding hands and oh man, I'm feeling so deep about you. So how long before I can move in?
Oh,
Now, for those of you who just came in the room, I'm gonna let you know right now, I do not male bash. I love my kings. Not all of y'all are kings. I love men. I specifically love melanated men. This ain't what this is.
I'm gonna leave and come back in. I'm hearing an echo.
Okay. You
I
can
put
leave
my
it.
glasses on. My ass was getting blurry.
I have to put disclaimers out because we got sensitive people on these ticks and these talks, okay?
Yeah, you said that right. They should. Yes,
They're
very.
sensitive as hell. I done got kicked off this app 4 times already. So I'm like, you not. You not. But we dating. Yeah. I got my place and you got your place. Here it is. I'm nosy.
Yeah.
I'm nosy, right? So I'm going to take you through it. I'm at his place. Nice place. He OCD. Nice place, right? Very clean. He happened to have his lease out because he was writing a check. I noticed that the name on the check and on the lease didn't match his name. It was his stepson name. This ain't even your place.
Ah,
Wow.
This ain't your place. And you trying to move me faster than I'm ready for.
Wow. That's deep.
And you trying
yeah,
to move me faster than I'm ready for because you need somewhere to stay. I
that
can't
seems
do it.
accurate.
I said, well, if you want to move in here, my mortgage is such and so. I'll pay half. Nah, my bills come in wholes.
Right.
And you the man. Now you want to fill this role, a traditional role is provider. Okay, you want to move in here, you're going to have to pay the mortgage and then, help me fix some things. But in a while, not right now. This is too new. I got kids. I got to make sure that we all the way, because I'm not a mom that's going to just expose my kids to all of these people, right? You don't
Right.
have to
Right.
leave. You could, I was going to tell you could have muted yourself.
Right.
Honey, you could have muted yourself.
She'll probably be back.
She'll be back.
Yeah.
It's only because of the baby in the
Yes, he
background. It
is.
makes it bad for the podcast. Okay.
I
So,
know it is.
so now I know this. He's going to come in. I'm going to have to tell him the same thing in a minute. Savage Beast. Hello, hello.
Trying to get my work.
Are we okay?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can't see you.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's my first live.
I can hear you. We can't see you.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's my first live, so I'm trying to get this.
Oh, I'm popping cherries all over the place. I love it. Okay, so what you'll do in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see the co-host, and then you'll see multi-guest. Click on multi-guest. Then you'll see it'll either say enhance or you'll see a video camera that has a line. There she goes. Hallelujah. Okay, so we're going to do housekeeping again really quick. I use a portion of this podcast on Anchor. I need your permission to use your voice. And then I also will post a portion of this, if not the entire, no, it won't be the entire thing because this is a mess. On YouTube, I just need a verbal yes that it is okay to use your image and your voice.
Yes.
So be careful what you say if you want to say anything about your
Yes.
wife, because I'm not taking it down.
Nah, I'm good.
I give full
I'm a
disclaimers.
grown man.
You don't know how many times people
I'm a
like, hey
grown
man,
man.
my girlfriend saw that and she don't like it. Can you take it down? I'm like, no. I told you stop flirting.
I'm
You
grown.
knew this was gonna go up.
Nah, I'll put it up. I'm grown.
Okay, so anyway, back to the story. So I'm seeing that ain't his place. He been staying with his stepson. Stepson broke up with the girl. Now he moving back in. Daddy needs somewhere to stay. You can't stay here. I vetted him, so I know he ain't had no, criminal background, right? Because look, I don't trust nobody. I'm prior military, and I used to work in the jails and correctional, so I got to do that for my safety. I'm a black woman out here in these unsafe streets. Right? Okay, so he's trying to move it in, and he's like, "Well, I pay half." We ain't paying no half. You know how it takes $3,500 a month to operate my house, comfortable. This what grown people do. You're budgeting. You know how much it. So you gonna come in here with your whole big human self, and you just want to pay half of my mortgage, but you're gonna eat all of my food. You're gonna take shower because you're OCD now. You're gonna take a lot of showers. You want to take a lot of showers. You're running out my water. I got gas, right? So now you're gonna mess up with my gas, and then you're gonna watch football and whatever else on the TV. The kids are gonna be mad. Do you realize it's costing me more for you to be here, and you paying half of my mortgage than if you're not here at all? So let's be honest about this going 50-50. That's not gonna work. And you got a lot of jobs. Why you gotta live with person to person? That's what these mooches do. They're serial daters, and you notice that they're bouncing from one person to the next. They're not in love with these people. They're dating people just to have a place to live. Me, even though I'm a woman, I'm not a man. I could never be. I could not see myself being at disposal to a woman. If I make her mad, she gonna throw my stuff out, and I got nowhere to go. I don't see how, because my grandfather was the type of provider. You're supposed to provide for your family. How you think you're just gonna come in my house and then just try to borrow my car? You trying to ruin my credit? I gotta go to work and you home eating in between jobs, in between that court settlement case you're waiting for. Because I promise you, I don't know what it is about I'm waiting for the settlement. It's a thing. I don't care if they're college educated or not. They always got some kind of settlement. These people are in between. They call themselves like free spirited nomads, aka they homeless. That is my experience. Has any of you have any experience anything like that?
Not I.
I have not. I was wondering. I was waiting for the other part of the story before I jumped in. When you asked him if he was going to pay all the bills, what happened? Did you guys just decide not to be together? What did he
No,
do?
he said, well, I'll pay half. And I said, no, my bill's coming
Oh,
whole.
you did say that.
I did. And because I'm very matter of fact. Some people call me an a-hole. I don't care. I'm gonna be very blunt because I'm older. I don't have time to play. If you aren't down and we're in this together, I'm not playing with you. I don't got time for it. I've been married twice. I'm not playing.
Oh,
My second marriage was 10 and a half years. I'm not playing. I
yeah,
just don't have time. I could do this by myself.
yeah.
Why
You have
am
a
I
lot
gonna
of
move
best
you in
practice.
here?
I did.
Yeah.
I had a little story time, a snippet. I don't know if it was a mooch, but I remember having this encounter, and then immediately after I called my sister, and I was like, oh, I see how women be getting moved in on. So there was this guy, and we were friends for a long time, right? we had a friendship for a long time, and it was nothing that was serious. It was, hey, okay, see you later. But one day it wasn't see you later. It was 8 a.m. and it's time for me to log on to work and you're still here. And I was like, oh, okay, are you tired? Or, what's really happening? What's going on? And he wasn't moving, so I'm turning on lights. I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to sign on for work. What time are you? And he was like, are you cooking? I'm kind of hungry. And I was like, well, I could feed my friend. He's my friend. He's been my friend for 2 years. I can feed my friend. So I'm like, I make breakfast. We have breakfast. And I'm like, all right now. Um, he's like, he goes back to the living room and he's on the couch with the remote. And I was like, hey, so can we have a conversation? What
He moved
exactly are
in on the low.
I
Yeah, yeah, that's what he did.
I literally sat down beside him because I'm a firm believer in nothing escalates until there is a verbal conversation. I make no assumptions, so you won't do that to me. So I sat down with him and I was like, "Hey, can we have a conversation? Are you expecting this to escalate to another level? I'm not really sure. This has never happened before. How are you needing to talk about something? What's going on?" And he was like, well, I mean, I can leave. I mean, can you? Or what? You should have been gone already. What are you doing? He was like, okay, bye. Bye. And I didn't talk to him for like a month after that. And he was like, I don't understand. I thought you and I, no, we make no assumptions here. We've been knowing each other for 2.5 years, and there was never a conversation. You never initiated a conversation. I don't assume. So don't be trying to move in here. Don't be trying to squat in here.
This is squatter. That's the term
that's
I
what
was
it did.
looking for. I couldn't figure. I was like, "There's another term. I don't want to use mooch. I want to be how to know when somebody's a squatter and trying to get into your house."
He had plenty of places to stay, but I think in this scenario, we had known each other for a long time. In this scenario, he was trying to escalate. He was trying to escalate a relationship without having my permission, and for me, that's just as bad as trying to move into my home.
Wow.
How?
Wow.
Well, that's what I felt like it was. And honestly, after the follow up, after he got over his feelings being hurt, and we had a conversation about it, I'm like, hey, you're a good friend. You're a good friend. What happened there? I just thought because, well, we're adults. If you have a thought, we verbalize the thought. We have a conversation. You don't just stick around when you know it's time to go.
So he tried to just move in on the low.
I think he tried to become boyfriend and girlfriend without my permission. That's really what was happening. He didn't want to move in. He just wanted to have a more.
But did he not want to though? Because he had places to stay, but he ain't had his own place.
Oh no. He had multiple. When I say places to stay, he had a place in Florida. He had a place in Georgia. He owns. He wasn't
Okay,
looking for
because you said multiple places to stay. I'm like, but is he stationary at all? Because girl, sound like he's trying to move into a relationship and then move into your house, which is what these squatters are doing. And it's not just men. It just seems that there's been. I have a lot of women friends. There's been an uptick in these guys trying to rush into relationships, move into the house, then they stop working, then they stop paying bills, then they just a problem. And then, of course, you know, I was married. How do most marriages end up is because of infidelity or finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got somebody who ain't even married to you. The audacity. You ain't even my husband. And you decide you're just not going to work. You done lost that little job that you had. And now you're just going to be here collecting the unemployment. I'm going to work. I'm coming home. You in the same spot you've been in. Now you got your friends at my house. So it ain't just you, but you got the audacity to have other people. Now, I know you think that this is made up. I have a friend. It ain't me because I know what y'all think. Don't be touching me. Because most people say, oh, it's my friend. No, it was me. No, it wasn't me. It was somebody that I know. And that's all I'm going to say because I'll never say names. The man was fine, good looking. She didn't vet him, didn't find out that he was an ex-con. He was good looking. We look past a lot of stuff when we digmatize. Can we just say that? We're going to say that. We look past a lot of stuff when they put that thing on you. When they put that pie out on you, you forget some things, right?
Not all of us.
Some of us, it happens to the best. It happens to the best of us sometimes. You be like, I don't even know how I got here. It was very fast. He was very charming. He had a job when she met him. She met him at work. I don't even know how you going to hire somebody and then the background check come back later and then you fire him. But anyway, that's what had happened. So he was in her house. She couldn't get him out. He had mail come to her house. So then when she called the police to get him out, he said, I got mail coming here. I've been here more than 2 days. The police said, because I guess it depends on what state you're in, she'd have to evict him. She had to take this brother, this grown man who was last living with his mama, she had to take him to court to get him out of her house. Now, he wasn't paying none of the bills and he would not leave.
Yeah, I seen it on TV and court TV. That's how it is, though. That is kind of crazy, though. But
they was like, color. I was like, we doing this? No, we do this.
Wow.
You have to evict him. And the eviction process, I think, is 30 days, right?
Yeah.
So you got this man in your house that won't leave because somebody said, oh, stop buying food. They'll leave. No, they won't. They like roaches. They will find a way. That's a squatter.
So they were dating for a while. You said they were dating.
They were dating for a little while. He moved in really fast. And me loving her, I was like, you don't think that's kind of fast? Because she had kids. And when you got kids, you can't move people in fast because you got to make sure that they mentally straight up in the head before you move them in. Yeah. I'm somebody who had SA happen to me. So I am like a helicopter mom. I don't trust people. I have trust issues that I'm working on. I go to therapy and stuff. But you ain't coming up in my house because I got kids up in here. I need to know that you is straight about your stuff because we're breaking all these generational curses. We're not going to, oh, that's your uncle. Right. No, you already know all your uncles. Ain't nobody new uncle coming, right? So she had to take, and he wouldn't leave. And I was like, she said, I didn't turn off the electricity. I didn't bring no food in the house. This ninja would not leave. I was like, this is a lifetime movie. I'm sorry.
I'm glad there are two men on this live right now because I have a question.
Oh God.
The whole thing I think is kind of foreign to me that men are moving in with women. It is my automatic expectation that if you want me as your wife, you want me as somebody permanent in your life, that you are preparing the home for me to come into. What is the thought process for a man to move into the woman's house that's already established? Because even if I have my own, I expect the conversation to be, well, baby, this is now our investment property. Or baby, you sell that because as the man, I am the head of the household that I bought for us to live together. So what is the thought process of a man? What do you guys think about that?
That is a great question.
Wow.
He said,
That
this
was
is my first live.
wow.
You're asking me a lot of questions.
Uh,
I'm
I,
sorry, I don't get on live
There
that
is no
often
right or
either.
wrong answer. It's just your perspective.
I'll let you take that one, bro.
so I can y'all hear me? All right. So
What somebody has a TV on and it is a little bit of a distraction.
It might be me. I got you. Can you hear it now?
I appreciate it.
I got you. Can you hear it now?
I appreciate it.
Okay.
It was you. Thank you.
so I guess I did that. So coming out of the military, I was in Mississippi. My ex-wife was in Ohio. She had a house, so I moved up into her house from Mississippi. But I was just getting out of the military, so we were engaged, and I moved up there. But we did eventually, you know, move out and bought a house later on. So when I came, my expectations was not to stay there long. My expectations was to, okay, we you already have a place here. There's no point of me getting a place, apartment or whatever. When I move up to Ohio, I might as well just move into this place and then we find a place after that. So it's
Okay.
not always so it's the person. So it's not always about the guy coming in and establishing that residence with the woman. Sometimes it's about what's the better financial move and what's the better life move for y'all. Because sometimes you don't have that ability to make that a investment,
That
place,
makes sense.
and you can go and later on do whatever. Sometimes you have to get in there, but just the caveat: the man needs to become the head of that household. The reason I say this is because the way he has to do this is he has to establish himself as the provider. That means that he has to start paying those bills. The bills that's in there, they might be in your name, but those bills will get paid by him. That mortgage, everything is going to get paid by him. So he can establish that how he's the head of the household. But if he comes in and you're still paying all the bills and he's just sitting around just chilling, then yeah, that's pretty
You
much
got a squatter.
yeah, he's pretty much got a squatter.
Yeah.
I love how you handle that question. I love that. It depends on where you are in your life. And coming fresh out of, I'm from Mississippi as well, by the way. So coming fresh out of the military, I'm assuming you were younger.
I
No,
was 29.
yeah, that's a different time in your life. Yeah. In
Yeah,
life, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was 29. I was 29 at the time
Okay.
when this happened. So yeah, I was doing young things with my money at that time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 44 now, but when I was young, I did. I was a bum. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna sit up here and say that I was the greatest guy that's out there.
Accountability is sexy.
I,
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I
I
was
agree.
I was a squatter at a time in my life, uh, but I had to grow up and learn that I can't be a squatter. That I have to be that head. But once again, I'm a very spiritual person. So I knew that God didn't put me here to use a woman. So I had to grow up and figure out my life. So I wouldn't be that squatter. So, and just like you, I've been married twice. My second marriage was 13 years. My first marriage was a year and a half. She was the squatter.
But can we say this though? Because also, sometimes, and I found it for me, because I pride myself on not owing. I grew up very humble beginnings, right? So my whole life is I don't want to owe anybody anything. So my credit score has been pretty much stellar. Even though I had a stellar, when I got a divorce, I took a nosedive in my credit just because of the divorce. And I was just like, why? Our stuff was mostly separate. I don't understand that. So sometimes when you're together, sometimes a woman may, because look at it statistically, Black women, we are just like soaring when it comes to education and these jobs and stuff. Sometimes the woman's credit will be better because he's got to fix his credit, right? So that's going to take him a minute. So if she's already in position, because somebody asked the question, should I buy a home for us, or I'm supposed to wait till he comes? Do whatever you have to do for you while you single. I own property. That's me. I'm not gonna wait to get married again to buy property. That doesn't make any sense financially for me. A home is an investment, always, right? But what I notice is that some guys, and this is why it's kind of harder for me to date too, because like you want to date somebody who's on your same educational level, who's making somewhere near the same amount you're making, but that's not always the case. Some people have terrible credit. Some people got behind on their student loans. This whole pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs, and so it's not really equal. This whole pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs, and so it's not really equal. So for me, and this is just for me, I'm not speaking for anybody else, sometimes it's unfair to think that they can handle all of that because life gets in the way. And if you're working as a team, you may have to leave for a little bit, but the expectation is, in something that's verbally talked about, is when he come up, y'all both gonna come up, right? So I don't think that it's always going to be even. I've been working on my credit since I was in college. Some people weren't taught that. I mean, I surrounded my friends were rich, and so they were teaching me stuff because I grew up poor. I didn't know how to balance a checkbook or anything. It was because the people that I was around. Going to college, it gave me a different perspective on life. Not everybody gets that same nurturing. So it's not fair if they're behind in the game. At 43, I'm still learning. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't do the pick me thing, but I understand it. At 40, I'm starting to get it. I'm like, everything is not so black and white like we once thought it was. There are gray areas. You have to be willing to work. Again, I'm not a life coach or nothing. I'm just on a journey, and I just be sharing my little bit with y'all. That's all I'm going to say about that. Do you have any input, Tyrone?
No.
He said, "No, I'm just here to look cute."
No, I'm just soaking everything in. I'm learning.
I'm learning. We're
So
all learning. It's not always a point the finger.
Yeah, I'm not one of them types that know it all, and I always learn from my family members, my uncles, and about life. Even though I'm 47, but still, I'm still learning about a lot of stuff.
Okay, so I have somebody who wants to come in because she's saying, "Let me in." I'm going to drop you down.
You can drop me, actually. You can drop
I'm going to drop you down too. Okay, thank you so much. You guys, please give my guests a follow as they're coming in and down, because y'all forget, especially if they leave the room. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pull somebody else up.
Okay, you can drop me off. I mean, that's fine.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Come
again. All right, I'm pulling up new people. Hold on. Y'all not sending requests, so I can't see you. Hold on. Where'd you go? Oh my gosh, come on. Where'd you go? Could you send in a request, because there's too many people. I can't find you. Wait, stop. There we go. Thank you. Bam, she's like, pull me in. I got a spot for one more person if anybody else wants to come in. I knew you was hot and ready. I knew you were hot and ready for this. Welcome back, The Real by Miss G. We were talking about, we're going to call them squatters or moochers because we can't say the other word. This app is weird. What are your thoughts on all this?
Well, as Savage said out loud, the word I like to use is bum.
I like the bum. Just all around
He said he was
bum.
gonna say bum.
We're gonna skip all the other stuff. A bum. Sadly, yes, I've had quite a few bumps. Okay, I'm like the bum whisperer. Okay, uh, um,
I'm trying to be professional.
it's
Kill
like it's like I attract them into my life. I don't know. It could be the glasses. It could be that I do love Jesus, and when you love Jesus, like bums know how to say I'm spiritual. Like when you said that, that was triggering. I'm gonna say that it was very triggering when you
I'm
said that.
sorry. I'm trying not to laugh. You're killing me.
I
Uh,
was.
okay, I'm a deacon, so I am that. It's not just about being spiritual. I'm a deacon also,
It
so
was just
uh,
it was just the phrase. I don't know your life. I was not gonna say nothing specific about you personally because I don't know you. I don't know you. I was just saying that set of words. That set of words that I'm a spiritual person. Like, I don't gotta go to church for me to know Jesus. Yes, but for you to learn your salvation, you need to figure it out. Like,
I'm sorry. And I usually don't read the comments because it'll start us laughing. But he said you out here collecting bums like Pokemon.
I was trying to catch them all. I was
Ask
trying.
Miss Cheryl. Now you're a relationship coach, so I'm so glad you came in here because I'm not one. I don't claim to be nothing that I'm not. I'm just going through this life. You've been here for a little bit. You know the topic about
Yeah,
trying to avoid the hobo section.
yeah. And
Because
this
I,
is such
I
an
can't avoid
interesting
them.
conversation. Yeah. And I also
Help
work
me.
in the domestic violence and sexual assault arena. And so
Okay.
whenever you're saying to me a guy wants to, and this could be a guy or a girl, but if
It's
it's
a guy
someone
or a
who
girl.
wants,
Most
yeah,
guys, here's the thing. Most guys, they be like, oh, this in-house coochie. I'm trying. Look, we calling it what it is. He be like, oh, she there.
yeah,
Then he was like, but wait a minute, where'd she get all these kids from? Because when I was dating her, she had one kid. Now she moving 3 kids in my house and her aunt or her
uh-huh,
mom.
That's yeah,
I'm at work.
yeah,
I come home and there are all these people in my house. Now how am I getting her
yeah.
out? Because I'm gonna be the
right,
mean guy throwing this lady and her kids out.
right,
The thing
absolutely.
about these squatters are they're master manipulators. They're gonna abuse that generosity that you
Yeah.
have. And then they perfected the sad dog face, that look, that mopey eye. I don't know what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go if you're gonna put me out. Master manipulator, you laughing savage.
no, I'm
It's
laughing
not
because
just
it happened to me.
It happened to you.
It happened to it was bad, and it was
It was bad.
it's just a trigger. I hear it, I say
Right,
it.
right, right.
Uh,
You got your triggers. I got my triggers. And when
like,
you said,
yeah,
I'm spiritual.
well, here's the thing: men dating older women, and this new thing with men dating BBWs, thinking just because she thicker, she gonna put
Yeah.
up with you.
Yes.
We gonna look. We tackling it all. We look because with me, you just gonna get 100 sounders. This is why they kept kicking me off. I don't care, and I'm gonna keep coming back.
I gotta say something. Can I just
Yeah.
say something? I just want to say, if you are dealing with a BBW and you feel like because she eats extra chicken on a regular basis, she like a good piece of sweet potato pie,
Ooh, don't make
that
me.
means that she has low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
You better
Mm-mm.
find something else to do with your life, okay? If she is over the age of 40, she is fat on purpose, okay? She don't, she don't care. She don't
I
care.
love that.
She's made that decision in her life. You know what?
That's
It's either the
Popeye.
gym, it's either the gym or me, and I'm gonna pick me every time. I'm gonna pick me every time. You're
Oh
not gonna make me feel bad
my God.
as I'm and then ask me for some oxtails. You're not gonna talk behind my back and then asked me to make the macaroni and cheese for the service on Sunday. TT Carroll, you got snacks in your bag? Hell yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness. She is
This is why this is
hilarious.
called cut up culture, because we will tackle these issues. It's okay to laugh because sometimes this stuff hurt, and
Yeah,
when it
It do.
like when it hurts so bad, you just gotta laugh. You gotta laugh
yeah.
to keep from crying
Facts.
sometimes because it be a dire situation. Like I don't know how, but God, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of
But
this.
God,
I don't know
that's
how
the
I'm gonna
only
get out of
answer.
this. I have no idea how
That's
I let
it.
this man move in my house. I can't get him out. And my family laughing at me. I told you so. I told you. I don't want to hear I told you so.
First of all, my family don't laugh
Oh,
at me
oh
because
Lord.
I don't tell them jokers nothing. They didn't know. They just minded their business. But the heat slept on my
I
porch
gotta
a
put
couple
me
of days.
first.
Wow.
It
You
was
just
80 degrees that morning too, and I know he had some sunburn.
you
I
hitting
love
trick over here for me because you were talking about family. I just keep on thinking about that first. To think about that bump.
he's
Like
triggered. It's okay. You in a safe space, Savage. You in a safe
Definitely.
space.
I don't know. I don't know.
Definitely.
home.
But the
That
fact you because the minute you let your family in your relationship, even if you forgive somebody, they never gonna let you forget. I don't even know why
Yeah.
you got over here.
Yeah.
Cause da da da. Me like, you're gonna keep putting that in my face. You digging an open hole. You
they
live.
they they
Yeah.
do it. They
Here
can I?
come Mr. Squatter. Hide your purse.
Yeah.
Because you always got that petty aunt around
Not
Thanksgiving
you.
that got
Not you.
something to say.
She not talking about you. She just talking about in general. It's not you. It's
No,
not
I, didn't,
you.
I need to tell
Not
the story.
you.
I think I need to tell the story because
Oh, girl, here he go.
I need
Please do. Please do. I
Hey.
want to hear this.
I think I need to tell the story. I think I need to.
Cleanse your soul.
Yeah,
Confess.
I need to cleanse myself of this because it's in my chest. So I need to. Y'all keep on hitting these triggers, so I need to get it off. So once again, so just for me, I've been in 2 services.
Thank you
Um,
for your service.
thanks. I was in the Marines, and now I'm in the Navy, and I'm about to retire this year with 26 years.
Okay.
So
Hoorah, shipmate.
He ain't a bum no more.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Now he's a dirt bag.
Yeah, about that. But
We gonna let him tell his story because y'all cracking me up.
y'all killing me. So I got out the Marines. I'm from Atlanta, so I moved back home, and I was working in restaurants. I met a fine server. She was no, she wasn't fine. She was
Mhm.
Thick.
like she was yeah
She was thick, like cold
She
peanut
was
butter
so
thick.
look. She was so fine it made him stutter.
yeah she was definitely that. So we dated, everything like that. Um, I got my own place because when I first got out, I was staying with my mama, and then I decided that I was a little bit too old to be staying with my mama, so I got my own.
Thanks.
I got the place. We dated. We were dating. I knew she had a kid, so it wasn't a thing. And it just seemed like stuff just started accumulating in some of my place.
Mhm.
Um, and my cousin came over for a housewarming and was like, um, "What's is that a walker over there?"
She brought a walker to your house. She brought a whole walker.
I said because when she brings the kid over, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Moving around.
That's why we'll just put the walker down there. It's already here. We won't have to worry about taking it from a car and nothing like that. It's just a walker. It's just sitting there. We good. Don't worry about all that.
That was the water she. That was the sand she sold you at the beach. But go ahead.
She got you. She got you. That was the setup.
No,
Uh-huh.
That was
I,
the setup.
I have not got to the setup yet. So about 2 months passed. This stuff is still accumulating into the place. So I had a 2 bedroom. So the other bedroom I came home one day from work, and the other bedroom had a crib in it.
She ain't not believing.
So
I'm sorry. She ain't not believing.
So so to get to my bedroom, I had to pass the room, and the door was open, and I walked past the room, and I looked. I'm like, "What the blue blazer?
What the blue blazes?
She put that whole crib. She probably had her cousins putting that crib together while you was at work.
Pookie. Pookie. One of her cousins was named Pookie. It had to be.
One of her cousins was, but Pookie, I don't think Pookie came. But I see so at that time I was coming off of the Marines. You know, I had some anger management problems, so I was trying to keep it in. So I was not. You know what I mean? I was not. So, I went back to the room, shower, changed, because she was on the couch when I came in. I came back out. I sat down on the couch. I looked her in the eyes and was like, "So, where'd the crib come from?"
Oh my God, you were so calm. You were so
calm because the old me, the Marine Corps me, would have actually turned around and just went off. So I had to go back.
He got his anger management card and he was not giving it back. Damn it!
Yes,
I give it back every time I get into an argument. I make sure I give it back. I say, "Hold this for a moment. I'll pick it up in a second. Give me a moment."
I'm not going to jail for this, but she gotta go.
Got to go.
So where the crib come from? She was like, it came from my mama house. What with at first? I said, why did you take the crib from your mama house and bring it over here and put it inside my extra room? She was like, because where's she gonna sleep at? Where the baby gonna sleep at? I said, the baby gonna sleep at the baby house. When you gonna sleep at your house?
The baby house.
The baby got his own house.
The baby got the baby house.
The baby probably had at least 3 bills in the baby name, so it was probably the baby's house.
You already know that baby got the cable bill in his name. Oh, come on now.
At least the lights maybe too.
It's called pillow to post.
That's
she the one from her mama bed to your bed.
And her mama
that thing was singing, and you got a sniff of the whiff, and you laid up in it. You was stuck like Chuck.
And her mama is excited. She just wants to meet the man that saved her life.
How did you get her out?
Right, that part. Next part.
How did I get her out? I went to the Navy.
You went to legal aid. You gotta get her out of here. She's gonna end up getting me locked up. I can't tell her to go. I need security.
That fool said, "I deployed."
I'm gonna get on a ship.
That's how you get out of a lease. That's the easiest way to get out of a lease. If you have, okay, wait. We're gonna do this infomercial. We're gonna do this infomercial right now. Okay, ready? Ready? Hello. If you're having problems with a squatter in your home, call 1-800-JOIN the Navy.
Is that how you went to the Marines to the Navy? Because you couldn't get rid of that lady.
They will allow you to break your lease and kick everybody out at the same time.
Oh my
you get on a ship and go your separate ways.
Ooh.
She can't follow you in the Atlantic.
Savage. If you do not make that a story time for Ticks,
you better make that a story time.
I got a whole
story time. How I ended up doing 24 years in the Navy. Moved in my house. I saw the crib and I was out.
Thank you for the gift.
Jail. She the type of person that she done did this crazy stuff while I'm at work. So I know I can't say nothing to her to ask her to leave because she gonna rip some stuff up. They gonna say I put my hands on her and I'm going to jail.
I didn't say it was either jail time or Navy time. I chose Navy.
Savage.
Yeah, I chose
in the bathroom, looking in the mirror at himself, like, how the hell am I gonna get out of this without going to jail?
I called my cousin.
In the Navy.
I was like, cousin, she moved the crib in. He was like, what? I said, she moved the crib in. So what am I do. He said, when you saw that walker sitting over there, that's when you should have thought about that. That's when
Yeah.
I tried to warn you with the walker, but you didn't want to listen with the walker. So now you got a crib in your house.
Hindsight 2020.
Savage.
Mm.
I'm saying you can make a whole TikTok without saying a word. All you're gonna have is
Absolutely.
Walker one day, day two, there's a crib.
Day
Day three, you standing
How
in
to
there.
get rid
Day
of her.
4, here you go swearing.
Right.
And that's how I got rid of that lady.
Oh, matter of fact, use the sound that says, "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun." I guess you're wondering how I got here.
I'm so sorry. She said this our house. No, you got to move back to the baby house.
Oh goodness.
Sorry.
I can't.
Now,
Just can't.
That was
So
great. That was great.
Savage, we love it. I'm
Yes.
so glad.
Sa-
He's like, look,
Savage.
he's looking up so he don't have a tear come out. I'm like, I had to do 24 years of the Navy
He trying to
because
hold
of
in
this
the pain.
bullshit.
He trying to hold in the pain. You see him fighting them tears.
Look,
He's
Just
when
let
trying.
it
he
go.
laid
Look,
back, I knew he
look.
had a story to tell.
Once he leaned back,
It was too many
that's old man 101.
Look,
too
my
many triggers.
grandfather was a pastor. I grew up coaching. I know how to get it out you. There's somebody in here. Anybody? Y'all don't.
Somebody got a testimony.
Sammy said,
It was fine.
Thank Jesus.
Stomach just said,
I'm sorry.
It was fine.
Look, don't get offended, y'all.
Yeah.
Listen, I
Grown-up
get it.
coaching is hard. Look, I gotta say, I went through some things.
Listen, Savage, you're not the only one.
Mm-mm.
Miss Cheryl, how do people find themselves in this situation? And what other steps could Savage had taken if he went to you to get himself out of that situation and not have to enlist in the military? How do they do that?
You look at those red flags, they're there. Whenever you
Mhm.
said the gentleman wanted to move in real quick with you, that's red flag number 1. And what we do a lot of times is discount what's happening until we wake up and there's a whole crib in the other room. But there were little hints that were dropped all along the way.
The Walker.
What happened with Savage, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, he got caught up into the looks of things and didn't look at the character of the young lady. Okay?
It's okay. You're human.
Volume. Absolutely. And they say that men are attracted by vision. So
Visual.
they're the aesthetics of it all. They're going to look at the beauty and they're going to look at the shape. And he talked about how fine she was. He said it a
She
couple
was
of times.
fine.
She was fine.
She was
You know?
fine.
So all other senses went out the window because she was fine.
Because he had in-house coaching. Look, you was young, okay?
We was young.
Everybody got a pass.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, it's right here on tap. Okay,
Yeah.
the baby gotta come over every once in a while. I understand because you got to bond with the baby, but the baby ain't gotta be here all the time. Don't that baby got a house?
They got a whole house over there with grandma. Grandma and the baby got a house together. And
Savage.
Go ahead.
Savage, just a heads up. I fell for it at 42. So at least you were young and dumb. I'm old and dumb. So it's okay.
It happens. It happens. Especially if you're talking with somebody who is a master manipulator. That's
100%.
what they do. They know the cues. They know what to do. They listen. And the more we talk, the more we tell, the more they're able to shape that thing to draw us right on in. And by the time we're looking up, we're looking like, what happened? How did I get here? You know? So yeah, it happens.
I know how I got there.
How'd you do?
She wanted that. It was a panoramic.
So we was in the middle of a panoramic. I remember it like it was yesterday. We was in the middle of a panoramic. People was dying left and right.
Right.
Turned around, somebody was sick.
Expiring.
And Amazon packages were flowing.
Woo.
And I said, I need to save money. Something needs to give. Okay, Lord, I just really need a man. I didn't be specific. That's the problem. I wasn't specific at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so this man showed up, and he had the right parts, okay? The body
Mm-hmm.
parts worked, okay? Let's
Mm-hmm.
just put that out there. Um my WAP works. So the his peen, my WAP, great combination, bad timing. I should have said no to drugs. Instead, I went on that spree. And
I was a little
and
jealous.
at
I was a little jealous
she,
at first. Didn't I see the baby
every,
bump and I said, "Oh no,
listen,
I'm not covered in
everybody
nothing."
was listen, while I was getting smashed, everybody was on Team Carol. Everybody. We was like, get it, girl. Yes, I'm living vicariously through you. This is great. And then, yeah, now there's a baby crying at my house because WAP happens. And when WAP goes wrong, bad things happen to good people. And
Yes.
and now, okay, I'm gonna try to mute it this time. Can I
Yeah,
do
you can
that?
just mute it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll I think it's you go to multi-guest. Yeah, there you go. All right, so eviction process. Do you know anything about that? Like, because I had a friend. It wasn't me. Now I know y'all be thinking it's me because I said I had a friend. It really wasn't me because I'm just not. I'm mean. I'm sorry.
You're
You ain't coming.
cautious. Yeah.
I'm very cautious, and because I went through hurdles to get this house. So
Yeah.
no, you ain't. I'm not playing this game. I've already seen my friend go through this. It. I'm just like, I can't believe this is real.
It is real.
That she has to take this grown man
Yeah.
who left from his mama house to her house to court to get him to leave. There ain't nothing in you that be like, I ain't shit.
No, not at
At his
all.
age, because he was older than me. And I'm just like, at his, there wasn't, I said, so she said, I said everything I could say to him. I done had the lights shut off. I wouldn't bring no food in the house. He got friends coming over.
Mm-hmm.
He won't leave. I called the cops. The cops said, he said, I got mail coming here. Don't you let nobody have no mail come to your house. You burn it on site, okay? You burn that on site. Because she said he had the mail in his pocket. He done got something in his name, had it mailed to his house. He ain't walking around with her address in his pocket. That was a professional squatter. He knew what he
So
was
that's what
doing.
I was getting ready to say because he knew his rights. He knew it. So he knew if he had a piece of mail that came there and she was trying to get rid of him, that he wasn't going to have to go. Now, I'm in North Carolina, and with North Carolina, you have to have that person evicted. And it is about a 30-day process. So you got, and that means it cost her money to have him evicted.
He wasn't paying no bills. Because
Yeah.
remember, he was an ex-con. He didn't tell them that on the application. They let him work, and then when the background came back, that's crazy. First of all, that they would do that. But the background came, they said, we gotta let you go. You didn't tell us.
Yeah.
And they fired, and he didn't try to get another job after that. And he was just on her couch.
There was no motivation to. He had a roof. He had somebody who was feeding him.
And she's just like, how are you feeling like a man? Like, you gonna sit here and watch me? I'm doing man work and you just sitting here? He's like, well, where you want me to get a job? I can't get a job. Like, no, there's like lists where ex-cons, they're ex-con friendly. Their jobs. He didn't want to do those jobs because he was a pretty boy and he thought those were beneath him. So it's beneath you to get a job washing dishes or working somewhere where you don't want to get your nails dirty, but you're gonna sit on this woman who got kids.
Yeah.
She got kids.
First,
And they see you doing this.
he don't. First of all, let's just be honest, okay? When you're getting out of prison, and you already know that your family has already turned their backs because you're always in and out of prison, you squat where you can, so you get good at it. And I'm telling you, it's that's a regular occurrence. Like, and stopping, turning off the lights, and stopping buying groceries. That don't help out that much. All they do is turn your house into a trap house.
Yes. Yes.
That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You making it easier to turn it into a trap house. Well, she don't be here no way, so y'all just bring me some flashlights and some ramen noodles, and we gonna figure this out. I I done seen people set up and because they can't even boil the water for the ramen, they eat it dry.
Wow.
That is
It's
desperation.
food.
Yeah.
But he could have stayed at a men's shelter. Don't they still have homeless shelters like that?
Let's
If
just
they're
I'm
safe.
gonna tell you this
But
now.
why? Because
When it comes
Mhm.
they don't okay, in the states that I've been to Georgia, South Carolina, Connecticut, and now I'm in Colorado. Most states are women's states.
Mhm.
They'll set up as long as you have a wife and children.
oh,
The
that's
men's
fair.
shelters, it's crazy.
Now I can say in where I live in Wake County, we have quite a few men's shelters, but they're
Mhm.
full. And so if you
I believe it.
can't get there lining up at a certain time of day, and then you said that he was a pretty boy, so a shelter was definitely not within his parameters. It's not where
But
he was
he
going to stay.
used his looks to charm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they met at work, but
Mm-hmm.
he used his looks to charm her. Cause she said he fine. I said everything that glitter ain't gold.
So let
I
me
mean,
ask you this:
females do the same thing.
well, yeah, this is true. And we say it goes both ways.
Here
Is
we
your
go. You
friend?
say it like some women will be so hard up and so desperate for a man that they will put up with that, and that's
Yeah.
how that cycle gets started.
Yeah.
The mama just want him out of her house. She don't care who take him because she
Right.
That
raised him, and he here. She can't walk around butt naked with Mr. Willie Earl because you here.
that's,
Mm-hmm.
that's all
Uh
she
huh.
wants. That's all she wants. She want that moo to flow freely. That's it.
Come on, she can't have her special friend over because you here, and she don't want nobody knowing her business.
And see,
Damn.
typically you'll have men who want to come in and be saviors, and you have women who want to come and rescue. And so when they can pick up on those vibes and they know they have a prime candidate, and now I'm getting ready to get to work.
Mm.
Right.
Hmm.
Facts.
Mama done paid her dues.
Period.
Absolutely.
Listen,
Absolutely.
if my son, okay, at this point, my son is here. Okay, he already called
Hmm.
me disrespectful. Okay, because I can care less. I pay all the bills. I
Hmm.
pay the rent. I pay the car note, the insurance. So if I want to make a man call my name
Hey.
for 4 or 5 hours,
That's how you end up with that baby, though.
it is. It is. I'm gonna get on a depot
How
shot
you
this
gonna
time
get
now.
pregnant? We supposed to be doing meetups.
That's okay. We still gonna do it. We still gonna do it. We still gonna do it. She
How we
cute.
supposed to go to Tulum now with that baby on your back?
Ev- Listen, everybody want to babysit. It's okay. Everybody want her. So I'm telling you,
Mm.
she gonna travel. This chick gonna travel.
She's gorgeous.
Wow.
But so that's how that is, and the thing is like, cause I'm like, I'm not that hard pressed.
Yeah.
There are times I'm not lonely. There are times that I feel alone, though.
Hmm.
You're
Right.
alone, you're not, or alone, not lonely. You surround yourself with friends because, like, for me, I grew up, and I say this all the time. I know people get tired. I grew up without nurturing. Right?
Okay.
That's how I ended up married twice. So I didn't properly love myself. I wanted to be accepted, loved so bad by anything that looked like love that I was willing to just accept it. And I found myself in bad situation, one bad
Yeah.
situation and the next. And when I realized, man, I need help, and I started going to
Hmm.
therapy, I realized that I deserve more. And that's when I started this whole journey on I got to learn how to love myself. Because when you truly love yourself, you will not allow people to disrespect you. And when I say it
Mm.
like time, I'm like, oh, she didn't love herself. People get so mad. And I'm like, I know I said it very bluntly, but I've been where you are. I
Hmm.
love myself. And that's why I allowed all of this crap to happen. Is it my fault that I'm a good person and I just let people manipulate me? No, because, free will. Some people just
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
some point, you have to say, I got to put up boundaries. And if you wasn't acting like that for me, like, yeah, I didn't
That's
respect
right.
myself enough to know that I
That's
needed
right.
boundaries. But I'm gonna tell you from here on out, these are my boundaries. If you can't abide
Yeah.
by this ain't gonna work. And they leave.
Yeah.
They
And
leave, or
that's
they
how
keep
you know
fighting
where
you.
their head is.
They
Yes.
leave, or they keep fighting you because they want to get back in control. And you be like, no, that's it. So when
Mm.
you put up
Mm-mm.
boundaries, the hardest part is staying committed to them
They
boundaries
can
that you
tell
put
you.
in
Yep.
place. That is adulting,
Absolutely.
and it's hard. it's not easy. It sounds no, it ain't easy. It's hard because you be like,
Because people are going to try
find
your
no thing
boundaries.
that was like that before. Yes, you will. Them
Mm-hmm.
little pieces of me come, and there'll be somebody better who will love you and respect you, right? That'll also put it down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I agree.
You got something to say, Savage?
Savage
You
said, I'm just here hanging
you
out.
raising your finger?
You put up the Koji finger. The
Yeah.
He
church
did.
finger.
He did. We all Kojic.
Do you get okay? Look, I'm gonna say this. I don't talk about religion, but look, Christians is having sex too. I don't know who. I don't know who missed the memo. Everybody want to clutch their pearls. Come on now. Now, look, I tell you all the time. Look, I've been dating bishops. Look,
My Bible say the church supposed to
Did you?
take care of the widows. Take care of me.
Oh wow. Okay, you got it.
that's all I'm gonna say
Sarah,
about
did
that.
you put yourself on mute because we can't hear
Listen, like
you?
if y'all married, I know y'all doing. Where y'all think these babies come from? Who put all of these babies in the children's church? How y'all think they got here to Stork? Y'all, come on now. This is why we got so much stuff going because everybody want to. I don't want to talk about it. We got to talk
Yeah,
about it.
we need
You
to.
like they tell these girls keep your legs closed till you get married, and then the men be like, "Well, why you ain't experienced? Like I want her to be a freak. Why is she supposed to be a freak? She ain't had no experience because y'all were telling her she got to keep her legs closed. Y'all don't know what y'all want.
Make a decision.
Know what y'all want.
Wait, Savage was finna say something. What you was finna say, sir?
I think he's
You're
muted.
muted. Okay, hit the multi guest thing, and then unmute yourself.
Because now you're muted. Okay.
Now I'm unmuted.
Ooh, there you go. I like
We
it.
can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. So, I was having a conversation with a friend, female friend of mine, and because it's about the boundaries things. Is it really boundaries, or is it your standards now? Like what you will take and what you won't take? Because I told her, I said, I have, I didn't say standards. I said I have. It's things that I'm just not gonna take anymore. I mean, it's not about a
Mm-hmm.
balance. It's things that I'm just not gonna deal with. I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna deal with that. And if you're not in that, if you don't meet this criteria, then I'm not dealing with it. From being married for the first time a year and a half, and then the second time for 13 years, and then me being 44 and all the stuff that I've been through, childhood trauma, things like that. Um, it's just things that I'm not going to take anymore. Anyone. So if I'm dating a woman and I don't, because we was talking about flags too, and she said she was dealing with a person and she kept on seeing these yellow flags, and I'm like, no, no, no. Either
Red.
they're red
Red.
or they're red. It's not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a green flag here and a red. No, they're not. That's not the colors of the flags. That's just
Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
little colorblind.
right. So forget about the yellow. It's not. It's if I see a red flag now, it's
Mm-hmm.
automatic that I'm going to let them know that this whatever we're doing at this moment
This doesn't work.
going to
Yeah.
stop. I'm just
Yeah.
going to be straight up with them. Like, listen. So you have this thing that I don't like, and I know that's not going to change. So now I think that we should go ahead and either just be friends. If that can't happen, then I think we just need to because
Always.
But is there any kind of compromise? Not settling, but a compromise.
no, not for now. It's just for me. For me,
Yeah.
it's just because have been married for 13 years and have been had to deal with a narcissist for 13 years.
Honey, don't say that word.
The narcissist.
So in dealing with that, and I didn't even know that's what I was dealing with until I had a friend that she actually sat me down and it like pushed me and was like, "Listen, Negro,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
are with a narcissist. You changed who you are all the way around.
Yeah. Yes.
Your your whole thought process of who you are, what you do, how you dress, the way you talk, what you eat, everything is not you.
You're
Mm-hmm.
second guessing yourself when
Yes.
you were sure.
So now with me, I can't I can't it's not I can't compromise anymore. I compromised too long. Because we were together for 15 years, but married for 13 years. So
That's a lot of therapy that you have to
That's
do
a
all.
lot of therapy.
oh, I'm in therapy.
Look, I was married
I'm
10 and a half years to a narcissist, and I'm not talking about just pulling out terms. I mean textbook DSM-4, okay? Gaslighting, silent treatment, um, financial, emotional abuse, all the way down to, because it escalates. The physical was the last straw. And because I didn't want to fail again, because that was my second marriage. I'm like, I keep making these promises to God and I'm breaking them. I gotta stick. I'm gonna pray this out, because everybody, oh, just pray, just pray, just pray. God was giving me my sign, and I didn't want to hear that, and I just kept praying and praying. No, even okay. So when you in a church and there ain't too many melanin in there, and you sitting 3 pews over from me, everybody know you my husband. Now you want to embarrass me in church, like
Right.
you don't want to show for the family pictures and the kids. Why he ain't coming? I'm not going. If you want to be in, I'm not gonna be in. What kind of sense does this make? It's to totally embarrass you. That's their goal. It's just to break you.
It's the
It's
breaking.
never about love. It's about control. And
It's power and control.
it's power and control. That is all that it is. And here's the thing, because I'm an empath, right? So a narcissist and an empath, they had the same kind of trauma. We just dealt with it different. A narcissist will never ever admit that they're a narcissist. Their life wasn't perfect, but they try to convince themselves. And so anything that's not perfect, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm not a part of that.
Any kind of mental health, breakdowns because I had depression and anxiety. Well, that's you. I ain't had nothing to contribute to that. Okay, we're gonna go to marriage counseling. I'm going just to go through the process so everybody can see that I tried to use crazy. And then when the guy's like, well, you could have tried this. Now you blowing up and you angry. Oh, you just gonna take her side. Da, 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 da. I told you I wasn't crazy. Oh, because you're a nurse and you just know what the right things to say. But da, 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 da. I'm like, I can't do this no more. There's nothing left. I can't love you anymore than I've given you everything. You've depleted me and now I'm broken. And you're still not happy. And now I'm the enemy when you didn't want me.
Right.
And now you're going to stalk me for the rest of my life. Because it's not over for them until that game is over for them. It has nothing to do with they could get remarried, they could have more kids, and they will still continue to torture you until they think that they've been vindicated. That's therapy. You got to go to therapy for that. There ain't no two ways about that.
You know what I appreciate that God has provided me? That I'm built for tough. I never had to worry about that. All the men that I dealt with, even the narcissists, they understood that I knew how to have a mental break and blame it on that, and not have any issues, and not look back, and not have no qualms about sleeping at night or anything. It luckily, even though I had a squatter, once I said, okay, your time is up, it's time for you to leave. You literally have 24 hours. Figure out where you're going. Wherever you want me to drop you off, I'll drop you off, no issues. But you can't stay here no more.
Do you know how amazed I was that you got rid of him? Can I just say that? Because I'm like, he ain't going to go. He ain't leaving.
Everybody was concerned that he was never going to go. But the plus is, one, the same way that I talk to one person, I talk to everybody. I'm a very matter-of-fact person. And trust and believe, I'm a whole combat veteran. So I can get away with things. I know how to do things that other people don't know how to do. And I tell people in advance, hey, just a heads up, I can always blame this on PTSD. No issues over here. None. None.
I can't with you. You're killing me. Savage, you had something to say.
So, okay. This is pretty much a panel of women, and we're talking about a lot of the men, and she brought up something. It's harder for men to get rid of the woman out of their house than it is for the woman to get rid of a man. Because if
100%.
put the woman out,
you're going to jail.
Oh, yeah. Going to jail. But he's a dirty
I'm laughing. It's not funny.
You're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to be taking care of her. Oh, listen. If I don't put her out the house, I'm going to jail.
There you go.
So I just need to I'm trying to figure out like what's the best way to put that female out of the house without you getting in trouble for it.
You gotta like call the police and be like, I need an escort.
I got an answer. I got the answer. Call on me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. You need a TT Carroll in your life. You need a no, I'm serious. I'm serious. I do this for my brothers. I do this for my nephews because trust and believe, there's certain females out there, they know for a fact that you're not going to put your hands on them. They know for a fact that they can run you raggedy and you will not be able to do anything because she is a female. Now, what you have is a cousin, a sister, an auntie like me. Okay. Auntie, can you come through? Yes, boo. And all I do is walk in the building and start packing things up. Sweetie, we're
Medea.
leaving. Where do you need me to
Medea.
drop you off at? Because you can't stay here anymore. We are exercising the demons on today. We're saging. And you are one of the demons that need to be exercised, my love. Now he couldn't do anything with you, but I can with no problem because I'll pick you up like a suitcase and walk you out under my arm with no issue.
Okay, so Miss Cheryl, you as a advisor for SA and all in domestic violence, what is another route he could have tried
That's what I was
if they
asking.
don't
Really.
have an Aunt TT?
That's what I was asking. I was asking her.
He said, I want professional.
Because
You
that
gonna
answer
get
up
me
there
for
is what
jail.
my
They
sister
gonna
wants.
get me for conspiracy.
That's what my sister.
Yes.
But I couldn't let my sister come over and do that with a child in the house. So I said, I'll go to the Navy.
It's gonna have to be law enforcement. But again, there's going to have to be some type of complaint of domestic violence in some way, shape, form, or fashion. If not, then it's going to be having to go through that whole eviction process.
Right.
So, again,
And most men
domestic
are
violence
not
is like
going
different
to
things.
press charges for domestic violence because
Yeah.
that is not the masculine thing to do.
Right.
And it becomes a pride issue. That lady could be scratching his back up
Yeah.
10 days through Sunday, and he's not going to say she crazy. But you letting her keep putting her hands on you. Nah, I ain't going to the police. But here again, because we live in America, let's just be all the way honest. Sometimes when you call the police, it don't turn out the way that you're expecting it to go.
Bad.
And it doesn't, but it is better than him ending up going downtown because women, we can be very.
That ain't what I'm talking about. Sometimes he end up shot. He ain't going nowhere.
Bad.
Let's be honest.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it's some way in which, because we're talking about manipulation here, in which things will get manipulated and turned around. Now, I've also had come in encounter where the woman has killed the man.
Right.
So it gets serious. And so you talked about that part.
Can't say the K word, but we can say expired.
Okay, right. Expired. Yeah. So you get to the point where it escalates, and you just talked about how with men it's a sense of pride. When I have men that come into the agency, it is because they see their children being negatively affected. If it's just happening with them, they'll take it all day long. But now their kids are starting to be impacted by this. So I think I need to come and get help. We know the police isn't always the best route, but for the most part, when you have no other choice, it may be the only route. There are a lot of times when we talk to even our clients and we're saying, because when you're trying to leave, it's the most dangerous time.
Yeah,
it is the most dangerous time.
So would it be in his best interest before he gets the police to go to say, who could he go to as like a representative for him to go with the police as well? Like, like a caseworker. Is there any way that he could get a caseworker or something? How would he go about that? So that when the police come, okay, the caseworker here too, so I ain't got to worry about getting arrested or getting shot for trying to. Because if it's his, this is my house. Why I gotta leave? She the one beating on me.
So the way that it works in North Carolina, I can't say about any other state. We do the restraining orders This is called domestic violence protective orders. And in that order, you can ask for the resident, and that person has to be put out. And when they get put out, it's the police that are coming to escort them out of the house, and they're not allowed to come back in. So for us, we have that emergency order that goes into effect right then and there. But then you have what is called a 10-day hearing. And at the 10-day hearing, both sides are there to present their case. And then the judge determines whether it's going to allow this to be in effect for a whole year. You know?
But in order to get that restraining order, he would have to first file a police report about domestic violence, because he doesn't need any kind of proof.
In the beginning, when you go to do the first order, you can go in for physical, emotional, or mental abuse. Okay. It's a lot harder for emotional and mental, but it can be done. And physical, of course, if there's some type of physical evidence on it. Whenever you do an ex parte order, it is just your word given to the judge. The judge is deciding if there's enough merit to say, okay, let me put this emergency order in place. If it's not, then I'm going to give you a 10-day hearing. And then you come back and they both have to prove. There are times now, typically in domestic violence, you will have occurrences where cops and police have been out there a few times. But again, if it's escalating, that's when the police are really, really getting involved. If it's just the beginning of it, it's subtle stuff. You know, it's very, very subtle things. Like I said, it's that emotional, it's that mental, it's the name calling, it's the tearing them down, you know, really trying to break their will and their self-esteem.
That is the whole cycle of abuse. And people say, well, why don't you leave them? Like, y'all don't understand. It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
And it starts, and you know, it starts with this. It's just it was jokes. It's break down with little jokes until it ain't funny no more. And then you're just like, I'm a whole professional. How the hell? Like me, I had to be in a domestic violence shelter. I'm a whole registered nurse. I got kids, like, my kids don't even know what it's like to be poor, and I got to go home. Do you know how humbling that experience is? I couldn't sleep, because I'm around strangers who have physically jacked up. Like, I'm like, okay, I got a couple of scratches. I feel guilty even taking up a bed, because these women are coming here with broken noses, busted up eyes. They've been all kind of messed up. And I'm sitting here crying like, I just want to go home, but I can't go home, because if I go home, I'm not going to make it out.
Right.
And then having people not believe you because somebody's so high up, so decorated like that. How could he? How could he? So everybody turned against you, and you the bad person. Like, I never even met half these people right now for David. I don't know any of these people. How can somebody be so loyal to a man? You never even met me.
Because it is the persona that he puts out into the community.
It is, and he could do the same thing.
Yeah, he looks like the good guy, and everybody loves and adores him, but not understanding what happens behind closed doors.
That's the part. People go, well, you a whole professional. You worked in the jail. You see this all the time. How you let this happen to you?
It's subtle.
It's a cycle. It's very subtle at first. You love them. Then they even use your religion against you. Yes. Well, I know you a good Christian, and your grandfather raised you for this, and so this is how you going to treat God. This is how you, after all the blessings you got, all I do is go to work. You know, all I do is work hard for this family, and then the fake tears.
Yes.
Oh, the fake tears.
But it gets you, and then you feel bad, and you're apologizing for being wronged. You've been wronged, and and then you're sitting here like, wait a minute, how the hell did that happen again? Now I feel crazy.
Yes.
I'm crazy. I'm in
and you're second guessing yourself.
So I've seen some comments. They're not talking about me.
No.
We're not talking about Savage.
I'm snitching. No. When they said
No. What he was saying was, okay, when she was saying that that the only other step is to report it, the first question he asked was, bruh, you gonna snitch on her? In my mind, I was like, yes. If somebody is putting their hands on you,
in your way, and you're gonna just pull it out, and you're gonna go to the hospital, and you're not gonna tell nobody, like, this bee is crazy. She done stabbed me in my dang on back.
So with me,
there's a code in the Black community. I don't care what she do. I ain't calling the police.
So with me, I've never had to go through that. I've gotten mentally abused, but I've never gotten physically abused. For me, it's just the mind state that I have in the military background that I have, because I was recon when I was in the Marines. Went through sniper school, done jumped from planes, did all that stuff. So I think that I couldn't mentally get beat up by my significant other.
Oh yes, you can.
No.
You could.
Me mentally, I would. It would be tough for me to actually get beat up by my significant other without blacking out and another side of me coming out.
That's that
Okay.
Marine. Marines are different.
It's different.
Marines
I know
are a
my
different
dad
animal.
was one.
Different
My
animals.
dad
So
was one.
if I was to see myself getting into that situation to the point where I see that she's going to try to get physical, I would leave. I would leave because I know for a fact, because I've never hit a female, but I've blacked out on beating up a. Do know what happened?
Oh, that's scary.
Now let me ask you this question:
That's regular.
would she allow you to leave? Because I do know females that when a man is trying to walk away, they will not allow that to happen. And so, even though you have that brute strength to if she's trying to block a doorway or something of that nature to prevent you from leaving, if she knows you and knows you're not going to put your hands on her, she can manipulate to the point where she won't allow you to leave. When I do trainings, a lot of times when I'm having to do groups and trainings, I'm having to tell ladies as well, not to what's happening to them, but I also will tell them everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves first and foremost. Second of all, when that man is trying to walk away because he knows he's hitting that threshold, you need to allow him.
So,
Hands off. Just let him go. But what they're afraid of, he's not going to come back. And if somebody who's trying to maintain power and control, they cannot allow that to happen. And so that's
and if you try to move her out of the way, I'm gonna call the police because you don't put your hands.
Right.
So you stuck. What you gonna do? Jump out of the window?
No,
Because that's the only other way you go get away from her.
When I was arguing with her, I knew my position, so I'm always
somewhere near the door.
I'm always close to the door. I'm always going to be to where my back is right at this door, so I can just turn around. It's never
Savage, you see how crazy that is? How mentally stressful and taxing that is for you to have to continuously do that? That's a lot. That's asking a lot. Like, I don't even want to go to sleep tonight because I don't know what she's capable of. Like, and I'm a big man. She probably ain't as big as you. I'm a big man. They're gonna think it was me.
Right.
Yes. I understand, and this is why I always say I don't male bash. There are bad people on both sides.
On both sides.
It's so easy. Because in the grand scheme of things, the system is built to tear us apart, and we're just contributing to all of it anyway with this whole stupid male-female war of the genders or whatever. I don't do that. I've seen both sides. I've worked in the jails. I've seen both sides. I've seen the crazy ladies. I've seen the men come in there beating her to a pulp. He got a scratch on and making the most noise about this scratch. I got to tell her she's pregnant because I can't give you any meds or get the doctor to give you any meds till you've taken a pregnancy test. Now you got your nose broken, eyes swollen shut, and I got to tell you you're pregnant.
Right.
So I've seen it. I've seen both sides, and I'm like, I'm so sick of working. This is why I be taking breaks from nursing because it's freaking stressful to see that, and to see that in some states, if they can't figure out who was the aggressor, they arrest you both.
That's true. That is
now,
true.
if you got kids in the house, now where the kids gonna go? Because if you can't find somebody to pick them kids up right away, them kids is gonna go into child protective services. So it's such a slippery slope, and this is how people find themselves trapped. It is so easy for people who aren't in this position to say what I would not do until you find yourself in there, or you work in that field and I'm like, y'all, it ain't even that easy. Oh, you would pick me. Girl, it ain't that easy. Y'all not listening. It's never that easy. It's never a one-sided thing. And so, and because I'm a nurse and because I've had all that training and because I've just been here in this world a while, I can see it from both sides. And I'm like, what the hell you gonna do? Because she ain't gonna stop. Now she over here antagonizing your new girlfriend, scratching her car, calling her, messing with her job. Like, how you get rid of this nutball?
Yeah.
Everybody got to put a restraining order because it's not just the men. Now the men physically they're stronger than us, and but women are expiring people too.
Yes, they
Some
are.
will go to the point where they're crazy. Well, they will hurt their kids to get back at the ex, and the kids are always the most innocent and get hurt the most in all of this. And then you wonder why you have a whole bunch of damaged adults out here who won't allow you to love them or won't love you right, because we have to start fixing the family unit in the community, and it all starts with us. So if you want to see change, it has to start with us. That's why I always like all this gender war stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not a part of this because it's bigger than that. It is bigger than that. That's all I'm gonna say. Anybody want to give any takeaways? Because we've been talking for a while and we're going. But it's
This has been great.
The biggest takeaway is it's not cut and dry, and it's not easy as leaving. And just as it's hard for women to leave a domestic violence situation, it is also hard for men. Man, y'all have the bigger part, because when you're actually a good man, don't nobody see it, because these women, they start crying at the drop of a dime. They're loud. They make the most noise. You want to scream and to stop because you're like, oh my God, they're going to shoot me. Why the cops here? I'm going to be expired, and I ain't even touch her. And she going on and on, dragging the baby. You see it all the time. The lady throwing the carrier with the baby in it. You'll watch the baby because she's frustrated. It's terrible. So we have got to do the work. We have got to work on ourselves individually, and then when you're in couples together. I keep telling people, I'm like, if you in America and you Black, you need therapy.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
Point blank. Now I've been in the military, so I need a little more.
Facts.
See, but society with Black people, especially Black men, we don't want to go to therapy because we're labeled as something if we go. So we don't never want. I go to therapy.
You labeled as something if you don't.
Yeah, but it is. But society has a lot.
I would rather date a man that is going through therapy. Matter of fact, I'd be making it a requirement now, because I knew how broken I was. And people say, well, you telling people that, you go to therapy and you take antidepressants, that's a red flag. For you, it ain't for me.
For you.
I understand. I've identified that I have an issue, and it's an issue that I'm willing to work on. Lucky for me, it's not any kind of psychotic breaks, because there's certain people that I can't. I don't care if you're on meds or not, because you miss your meds, you're going to be a danger to me and my kids, and I just can't deal. And that's just that. I'm going to leave that alone at that. I know my hard yeses and nos. And because I'm a nurse, I also understand how these mental health issues can progress, how they can be controlled. You keep therapeutic levels, you go to therapy, you good. You avoid some triggers, learn how to deal with them. You can learn how to de-escalate, right? But you got to do the work for that. Ain't nobody coming out of the womb born knowing how to do that. You can't just pray it away or just go garden and it's going to get better. There are people, and if people say, well, pray about it, but God puts people in your line, in your journey throughout life, to guide you to get that help. So it's like that whole thing where the man sitting on the roof and there was a flood and he kept praying and God sending people by. Nope, I'm waiting on the Lord. Go ahead. And then he gets to heaven. God, why you ain't send anybody? I sent the people in the boat and you just sat up there. So if he puts people in your path, even if you don't believe in God, if you believe in anything higher, I don't believe that the God that I serve wants me to go through this life being miserable.
No.
And on the other side of pain is peace. And when you get to a state of peace, you just won't let anybody else come in there. There's a fear for people coming in there and messing up that bubble.
Absolutely.
So I would prefer a man who's at least gone to counseling therapy just to check in like it's a physical. You check, you go to the doctor on every 6 to 12 months to get your physical. You coughing, right, to make sure you ain't got prostate cancer. You letting them check that booty hole to make sure you ain't got polyps because you don't want to die of colon cancer, right? You checking in your body even when it's uncomfortable. A lot of men don't like needles, but you still doing that. So why not checking on your mental health? Because I would rather go and get some mental health instead of you destroying my peace or possibly expiring me. So,
Absolutely.
but again, that is such a huge, it's still a taboo in the Black community, and we have to get therapy for that, because even, I was watching, I'll be coming on here and I'll be learning all kinds of stuff after slavery, after Jim Crow, the red lines. We never got therapy for that. None of us. None
None
of
of
us.
us.
So
Right.
you have generation upon generation of, well, they did it this way. Everybody got spanked because that's what the grandparents did. That's what mama. Well, mama spanked because grandma spanked.
Right.
Then you got to learn. We don't have to do it. There's other things. I don't spank my kids. I take away their electronics. You would have thought I electrocuted them.
Right. Yeah.
I spank kids.
Yeah, we know you.
I learned that a little bit later in life.
So
I'm
this,
sorry. I get passionate about it because this is my platform. Yeah, I do thirst traps, but I'm just so much more than that.
Yeah.
You are.
so this is the
You are.
thing. Us as Black men need to look after other Black men. We need to support other Black men and push us to actually go to therapy, because
Accountability.
yes, if we don't push ourselves to go to therapy, so my homeboy was like, "Hey, you need therapy. That's
Yeah.
what you need." Because when I was in the Marines, I was in Kosovo, so I was out there. I've done some things. I've seen some things, and he saw the anger in me. He saw that snap for no reason. He saw that irritability for
Oh,
no
you were
reason.
depressed, baby.
Yeah. Oh, I still go through things. I take my medicine every day. I take my sleep medicine every day. And this is a bit. It's 197 people out here. I'm not afraid to say that I go to a psychiatrist. I take my medication. I'm going through things.
As you should.
I'm depressed.
Right.
And some I don't want to get out of bed. And some days I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. But I have people in my life that, one, need me to do it. Number two, push me, call me to, because they know my mental,
Right.
what I go through. So us as Black men, Black women, all of us, we need to look after us, because we're the only ones that's going to look after us.
We all we got.
We
Yeah.
have to.
Savage, what you the those people that you were talking about that check in on you, those are called tethers. Okay. So like when you have I have PTSD too. I've been blown up twice. That my mental comes and goes. Okay.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I about 4 years ago, I was taking 16 pills twice a day, prescribed by the VA, to include Percocet. Um,
Don't
uh,
say any
uh,
of this because they'll get you
oh,
for that.
okay, okay. All of the sleeping pills, all of
Mm-hmm.
the pain pills, all of the crazy pills. They had me on all the pills at the exact same time. Okay. Now, with that, I had two suicide attempts, and I wasn't supposed to make it. Finally, I talked the VA into switching me over to a marijuana based medication. So I haven't taken one pill. So I haven't taken one pill in 4 years on purpose. Went through my C-section, refused all the pain pills. They looked at me like I was crazy. I refused to go back there.
Mhm.
When it comes to this mental walk that we all have to go on, this therapy session, everybody has to understand that PTSD doesn't necessarily mean that you've been in a war.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
you've been through anything in your
Trauma.
life that
Any
Yeah.
is
kind of trauma.
traumatic
Yeah.
and it has stuck with you, you can't sleep at night, you wake up to night terrors, you every time you see a puppy
Jump
walk
every
up the
time you
street.
hear a certain noise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It depending on what it is, you have to figure out how to have tethers to make sure that you remember that you're here in this
Mhm.
time, and not when whatever
Right.
happened to you happened to you. You need to understand what your triggers are, because if you
Mhm.
don't know your triggers, how are you supposed to even navigate going day to day, because bad things happen on a regular basis. I
Yeah.
I ended up watching one of the last movies that Black Panther, what was his name?
Uh,
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the last movie that he was in, he did a war movie. Now I didn't ask any of my tethers to watch the movie prior to, because normally that's what I do. A lot of the military movies I can't watch because I've seen entirely too much. Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, Chadwick
I've
Boseman.
I've seen too much stuff in real life. I've done too much stuff in real life for me to see some of the things that they do in cinema that are so close to reality that they don't even realize that it's that close. And so they had a scene, and it was somebody stepped on a mortar, okay? And the effects after that I've seen unfold in real life. Was not prepared to see it unfold on this here TV in my living room. Lost it. Couldn't get in contact with any of my tethers. Was in a loop for 4 hours. 4 hours. I was back in Iraq. Couldn't do anything about it. You have to find the things, and you're not going to find it in the course of a day. You're going to find it over the course of time, and it's not going to be a fun process. But within that process, it'll make it so that as you go on, then you can warn family members, you can warn friends, hey, this is not going to work for me. If I'm around this, I have to leave. I went bowling the other day. Once they turn off the lights, I can't be there. I am not scared to say at 42, I'm scared of the dark because I know what happens in the dark. I've seen stuff. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like just adulting, it's different when you come back from a war, and a lot of people don't know that. But when you deal with these therapists, one, every therapist is not for you.
Yeah. And you have to advocate for yourself and say, hey, this is not the right thing
Please,
for me. I need somebody else. And don't be afraid to
100%.
say, I need somebody else again. I need somebody
That
else to go again.
that and it's the same way with the VA. We know you probably have to have at least three PCs, because that's the way that they do. You always have to throw away the first three. Okay, the first three are not going to be your
And then
cup of tea.
sometimes I know a lot of especially African Americans be like, if they're not African American, I don't want them as a
And
therapist.
you can say that.
They have that right. You have that right. They they have that right. You have that right. You don't need the first one, but depending on how your insurance is set up, you can have video chats where you never even have to leave your house to have these therapy sessions. I'm with the VA. I do mostly all of my appointments through video chat. There's a whole app for that. So I don't have to leave the house. I like leaving the house. Y'all know I like to travel, but I'm just saying I don't have to leave the house.
Mhm.
So there are programs out there like that. It depends on your insurance. Sometimes you just got to call the number back on your insurance and ask, hey, my mental health, like what do all I have? I want a black therapist. I feel most comfortable with a black therapist. We're not dominating these fields, but if they get you to somebody that's brown, they will try the best. Sometimes you got to make do with somebody until you can get what you need. Always advocate for yourself. And if you have a spouse who has mental health issues, advocate for your spouse. Because sometimes they need you to come to those appointments. You'd be like, well, ain't nothing wrong with me. But you're not doing it for you. You're doing it to support them. That's all. And we can't hear you again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Please advocate for your spouse. My spouse was not supportive. Every time I had to let her know that if my mental isn't good, it's things that I don't know that I'm doing, or things that, or the way that I'm talking, or anything like that. It's not that I'm trying to be mean or anything like that. It's just that I don't have a child lock on But
Derek is hilarious.
no, but it was always that I was just being the mean one. I don't know how to control my anger. No, I don't know how to control my anger. That's why I've told you this. I'm telling you that I don't know how to
That's
control
why
it.
I'm going to therapy, Tim.
That's why I'm going to therapy. I don't know how to control it. I'm trying to tell. Then it was always, well, anger is an emotion that can be controlled. Not always.
Uh-huh.
Not always. When you get to, like, okay, so if you get mad, okay, yeah, whatever. But when it gets to a certain level, that cannot be controlled. So those are things. So you have to understand that when you're married to someone, you have to understand that when you're dating someone. So, and we have to tell people that from the jump. I tell anyone that I'm dating, listen.
Yeah. Hi, Dad.
Let me know. Tell you from the jump. PTSD, depression, bipolar. I take medication all the time, and sometimes I'm depressed. Sometimes you won't hear from me for a whole day. You can call me or whatever. I just don't feel like talking to you. I don't feel like talking to anyone. So it's not you. It's just anyone. Period. So that day of communication is not going to happen. If you can deal with that, then we can go on. But if you know right now, just put it out. If you know right now that you can't deal with that, then let's not even go any further. But we have to be real with ourselves and tell whoever we're dating the things before they get too deep, and then they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you had this. I can't deal with this." Well, we deep now. We deep now.
Oh, I love you now. We go together.
Yeah, we go together.
Right. The time to jump ship was back. Baby, it's open up to you. You ain't leaving me now.
The crib is in the other room.
I'm invested.
You know what I mean? The crib in the other room. You got to walk over here.
Right.
So something has to happen. But we got to tell people that from the jump. We have us as having the mental issues that we have. We have to be real with ourselves, and we have to be real with our partners of what's going on. Because if we're not, then that's what's going to mess a lot of things up.
I'm so sad that she left as I was going to wrap up.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a rocky start. I got kicked off this app 4 times. Somebody was hating, and I don't care. But sometimes God just wanted it to be done, and it'll be done. I appreciate you. Ask Miss Cheryl. I appreciate you for coming on, for giving your professional input, right? Yeah. I love professionals when y'all come through. It makes it easier for me, because I'm like, I'm not a professional. Let me say that right now. I'm telling y'all this, and then y'all act like y'all, I'm an RN, that's it. So I appreciate you for coming on, staying on this whole time. Savage. I know you didn't think you was going to come in here and say nothing. I have an uncanny ability to make it. Look, when you did this, I already knew. I said, got him. I already knew. I'm like, got him. Come on. It's because I'm an empath, right? And at first I was like, when I heard people say empath, I'm like, oh, okay, not this hocus pocus stuff. I get it now. I get it. I get it. And it's just like that energy is there. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to pull it out of him today. Because you wanted to. Subconsciously, when you're hurting, even though you may not be hurting now, but subconsciously when you're hurting, you want somebody to know that you're hurting. You want somebody to acknowledge that you exist, you are here, that you're important, and that you matter. So thank you for opening up, because you do not know how many men who are sitting on the other side of the veil, which we call it, because they won't come in the room, but they're watching from the outside. They make sure they don't click to come in. You do not understand the impact of you opening your mouth to say something that somebody's like, you know what, even if it's only one person out of whoever came in this room will go and get help tomorrow. Be like, well, he a big ass dude. And if he was a Marine and then he was in the Navy and he did all of that, shit, I'm just going to go. Ain't nothing wrong with me, but I'm going to go. And then they're going to keep going. You don't understand how it's like a domino effect. How if you go and get therapy, how you can make that change for your entire family, which affects all of your generations, your future generations.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. I know people are like, she's so corny. I don't care. This is me. This is who I am. I appreciate you both for being here. The Real by Miss G. You guys, please give all of my guests a follow. Little Brown Charm School.
I can't remember who else was in here. Please give Ask Miss Cheryl a follow, Savage Beast 357. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for coming in here. Sometimes we talk about adult and his demon time. So my topics always change. If you're ever uncomfortable, just leave. Because I'm a freak, and
Thank you
as
so
soon as
much
I
for
get me a
having the
man, honey, we doing
conversation.
all the nasty things. I'm just saying that off the bat now.
Nah,
I definitely followed you, and I'm definitely.
I did too.
Can I follow you back now? I think I'm already I think I'm already following you. Yeah, I'm following you. Hold on, don't leave just yet. Let me make sure I got Miss Cheryl. Yeah. Am I following you? Yeah, I'm following you because it doesn't say add. So if I'm not, I wrote it down. Thank you all for who they have been in here. If you have mental health issues, please get help. Talk to your doctor. Open up. There's two people. They always say there's two people in life you don't lie to: your doctor and your lawyer. Okay. Maybe your pastor, but sometimes we don't want to tell. But your doctor and your lawyer, right? Because they're gonna keep you out of jail and they're gonna keep you healthy. But you got to open your mouth. You got to say, closed mouths don't get fed. That's the takeaway. You guys have an amazing night. Please, again, follow my guests. If something that they said resonated with you, if you have more questions, ask Miss Cheryl. Are they free to DM you with any kind of?
Most definitely. Yes, definitely.
Oh, I love all this black magic. It be making me happy. I got peanut butter whiskey that's waiting for me. So y'all have a
Okay.
bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.